Neyla Pekarek on WNCW, a song about Rattlesnake Kate and her pen pal, Buckskin Bill.
Buckskin Bill.
Quite a pen pal, some 40 years and never met. Usually you
Right.
hear stories of like, oh, they finally met and they struck up a great
No,
friendship or romance or whatnot. Not in this case.
just empty promises. I say
Empty,
it's
yeah.
the oldest and longest catfish maybe to ever happen.
She was divorced, or married and divorced 6 sometimes, but still these are sort of like love letters with the Colonel.
Yes, idealizing sort of this thing that they couldn't really ever give it a real try.
Uh-huh, yeah. Some 300 letters that you poured over a long time, I reckon. There at the museum, you were able to like read the letters. That you got to have
Yes.
access to all of her things.
Yeah, they have a research center at the museum, and shortly before she died, she donated her dress to the museum, just about 2 weeks before she got sick and passed away at 71. And then her son donated all of her belongings, and they're kind of, kept in these boxes, archived in the basement of the Greeley Museum, and you can go check it out. And you can't really take a lot of photos or, photocopies and things, so I just went and took furious notes every time, and there's this amazing rattlesnake cake guru. Her name's Peggy Ford that works at the museum, and she's working on a book about her.
All right.
But for her, this isn't really, it has to be nonfiction, and so she's doing a whole lot of fact checking and writing an album. You can kind of take some liberties, but
Yeah.
I got to chat with her, and she knows every detail. So it was really nice to get a lot of the inside scoop.
Again, for those just joining us, it's Neyla Pekarek singing songs about Rattlesnake Kate, who lived in Colorado in the 20s and apparently had an incident protecting her 3 or 4-year-old boy and killed 140 rattlesnakes in one fell swoop. And then this museum has all these things, including a dress made from all these rattlesnake skins. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're wearing, I can't tell if you're actually wearing it or if it's CGI or
I
something.
do have that dress
You
in
got
that photo and in real life. Yes, I don't have a snake wrapped around me though. That was photoshopped. But
that was too much for you. That was crossing the line.
Yes.
No,
I'm not quite as brave as Kate.
Okay.
But my mom's neighbor is a costume designer for a local dinner theater, and she made me this beautiful replica faux snake dress. No rattlesnakes were harmed in my version.
Okay.
But,
All right.
but I wear it for the shows, and I think the costuming is important for this story.
Yeah, yeah. And it sounds like a really inspiring figure, as you would imagine. And served, you said, in World War II. She was a nurse.
Yes, indeed. Took care of soldiers that came back from the war in Denver at Fitzsimmons, and was trained in the medical field.
And you said you wanted to. You connected with her, wanting to feel less invisible.
Yeah, I think, reading through those letters and even just her keeping in touch with someone for 40 years, I think maybe she felt a little bit invisible and found this person that made her feel a little more understood than she did with the people in her life. And I'm a person that it's hard for me to find my voice sometimes. And so, in writing this record, I really found a bit of bravery and just a way to express my voice a little bit louder than I was able to before.
Well, this certainly is a pretty clear example of an artist finding their muse to make the art.
Yes,
Sometimes
indeed.
it's an individual, like a historical character. Sometimes it's, I don't know, something else. But this seems like a pretty clear example of like, you really credit the story of Rattlesnake Kate with getting you to make your own work.
Absolutely. I didn't have very much confidence that I was able to do something like this. And it was the combination of, researching this really strong woman who didn't really care what other people thought about her. And kind of that combined with being in the studio with someone like M. Ward, who I was a huge fan of, and, validating that I was able to write my own songs. And that was a really special experience.
All right. Neyla Pekarek here on WNCW, about to hit the road for Nashville, but if we could hear one more tune
Indeed.
on your keyboard. Thanks for bringing it in, and
our
thanks for
pleasure.
coming in.
Thank you so much.